Hello, everyone. On today's podcast episode, I'm going to talk about the phrase, the best things in life are free. That phrase is actually the truth, is 100% truth. The best things in life are free. Let me give you an example. Let me give you multiple examples of what that phrase means. Your friends, many people have friends, right? Did you pay to be, friends with your friends? Many people tell you no, right? Your family members, especially your family members, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your grandaunts, your granduncles, your uncles, and your aunts, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews. All these people, this strong social network, this strong foundation in life, this strong support network, right? This was given to you for free. You were born into your family for free. Life, your very life was given to you for free. You didn't pay to live in this world. You didn't pay to be born into this world. You were created by God for free. God brought you into this world for free. Your very life is free. The very essence of your life, what you call you, the best thing in your world is you. And God gave you that for free. That's what, the best thing in his life is free means. Everything you have, all, the very foundation of your life, you got it for free. You didn't pay to be born by your parents. You didn't pay your parents to be born. You didn't pay your parents to be your parents. You didn't pay your brother to be your brother. You didn't pay your sister to be your sister. You didn't pay your aunt to be your aunt. You didn't pay your nephew to be your nephew. You didn't pay your uncle to be your uncle. And these are the people, these are your strong social network. If anybody else fails you, these are the people that are least likely to fail you in your entire life. These are the people you call to, you go to for help on a daily basis. These are the people that will always be there for you, in vast majority of the cases. Many times, their chances are they're also people that have bad family members. If you have bad family members, run away from them. I'm not going to tell you to stick in a bad relationship and get yourself harmed, because there are too many family members where, they die, the family members kill them. But what I'm trying to tell you is the air you breathe on a daily basis, right? You don't have to pay the government for that air. You didn't have to pay the United States government to breathe air. You didn't have to pay your parents to breathe air. Oxygen is free. The sun, that beautiful sun you see in the sky, that's free. Your experience of color, taste, pleasure, love, all your emotions, all those beautiful emotions that you experience on a daily basis, that's free. Taste, all those sweet, the very essence of taste, whether it's sweet, whether it's bitter, whatever it is, sweet, bitter, savory, that's free. You got that, you got taste for free. It came with life, but it's free. All your five senses are free. The things in life, it's free. The best things in life are free. That's what I'm trying to say. But just because they're free, many people don't value it. They don't value, the little grass growing on the little flowers that they walk by, when they're, going here or going there, going elsewhere. When you're walking down the street or you're walking, around your house, the little flowers that you just see, those little beautiful flowers that you see, that, those volunteer flowers that just grow around. You know, you kind of you like them, but you know sometimes you call them weeds because you like them, but you just want to see the grass. Some people just prefer just the flowers, you know, while others they don't like they don't like flowers on their grass. You know, they don't like seeing flowers on their lawn, so they get rid of them. But those beautiful flowers are free. The green grass is free. The beautiful, you know, those beautiful sceneries that you see on your way to, you know, to wherever you want to go, it's free. The world around you is free. You know, the beauty of the world around you is free. Many movies are free. You know, just because it's expensive does not mean it's a good, you know, it's good. There are a lot of free movies that can change your life. There are a lot of free things in this world that are just as good as the paid one. And then, you know, they may even be better because they're free. Nothing beats free. You know, you pay a lot of money just to watch the same experience, you know. You're paying $10,000 just, you know, just to buy a television when, you know, $15 can get you a movie ticket, you know. And you can watch the same movies there. Or, you know, just buy a cheap computer and you're still watching movies online, you know. So cheap things may not be, you know, are not necessarily worse than, you know, expensive things. And do not look down on free things. Just because it's free does not mean it's bad for you. Just because it's free does not mean it's worthless. And that's the, you know, that's the mindset of most people, is that they tend to look down on free things without realizing the best things in this world is free. If you look down on it because it's free, guess what? You'll be a miserable person. If you keep chasing expensive things because they're expensive, you may be chasing exactly what you don't want. People, you know, companies, you know, mislead people. There's been so many cases of companies purposely increasing prices, purposely inflating prices of everything they own, of everything they sell, just to trick you into thinking it's more valuable. It's not. Just because something is more expensive does not mean it's more valuable. Chances are it's more expensive because, you know, there's some scam going on. The more expensive something is, the likely, you know, there's a likelihood the more, you know, scam, you know, the higher the chance it's a scam. More expensive does not mean more valuable. That's just a fact. Just because it's more expensive does not mean it's more valuable. You know, a Bible, you can go to many places, many churches, even some books, you know, some bookstores. They can give you the Bible for free. They offer Bibles for free. You don't have to go to churches. Some missionaries just come to your doorstep, knock on your door, and give you, you know, a copy of the Bible for free. This is the world we live in. The best things in life is, you know, are free, and that includes the Bible. It's free. So do not look down on free things, and, you know, appreciate that. Appreciate the fact that the air you breathe is free. You know, when you start, you know, when you start having to pay to, you know, to breathe air, you know there's something wrong with the world. When you start having to pay to look at, you know, look at the beautiful stars in the sky at night, or look at the beautiful, you know, sky in the, you know, during the day, or look at the sun. If you have to pay to look at the sun, something is wrong. You know, if you start having to pay, you know that your society is going, you know, down the extremely evil path. If you have to pay to breathe oxygen, if you have to pay to look at the sun, at the sun or the sky, if you have to pay to look at these, you know, basic things, there's something wrong with the world. You know, because these are the best things in life. You know, oxygen is free, and you need it to, you know, you need oxygen to live. Do not look down on oxygen because it's free. You know, do not look down on your friends and family members because they're free. Because once your friends and family members, you know, are removed from your life, no matter how much money you have, you may never be able to bring them back to your life. You know, once your grandparents are dead, no matter how much money you have, you will never be able to bring them back, you know, to life. That's how valuable your family members are. They're priceless. Each family member around you, at least each family member that, you know, that values you. I'm not talking about the ones that, you know, that treat you like a slave or a pet, that try to kill you. I'm talking about the ones that truly matter, which most people have, you know, most people have family members, you know, the vast majority of members The vast majority of the human race has family members that are, are pretty kind to them, They treat them well on average. So this applies to most people. Is that your family members are too valuable for you to put a price tag on them. That's how valuable they are. And you have, and God gave you them for free. Be thankful of what you have in this world, and your life will be happy. If you keep chasing after things that are valuable, monetarily valuable, and ignore all the free things in life, your life will always be miserable. Because someone would take something that's free and put a large price tag on it. And you buying something, this is the point. This is how marketing works, Companies take free things or cheap things and then delude you into thinking they should be expensive. And then you spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions of dollars for something that was practically free to begin with. And you running, chasing after expensive things, you end up, doing exactly what you don't want. Spending money on something that's free to begin with. Spending money on something that's cheap to begin with. You keep falling for marketing scams that keep telling you that, hey, if it's more expensive, it means it's better for you. You're wrong. Just because something is expensive does not mean it's better for you. It actually may mean the opposite. It means you're being scammed. It means you're being tricked into buying something you don't need. Or buying something you need at a much, much too high of a price. And that's what you need to be careful of. Appreciate the free things that you have in life. Value them. They have value. Just because they're free does not mean they're worthless. Your family members, just because they're free does not mean they're worthless. Your friends, just because they're free does not mean they're worthless. Your very life itself, just because it's free does not mean it's worthless. Your children, just because they're free does not mean they're worthless. Value what you have. If you value what you have, your life will be happy. You'll find more things in life that make you happy. If you don't value what you have, no matter what you have, you'll never be happy. Because you'll always look down on everything you have. You'll always be that person who's always, who's always chasing after something. Always chasing after this. You're always trying to buy this. You always need this. You always need that. And the moment you get it, you're chasing after something else. And then you keep chasing after something else and something else. And your entire life, you just end up looking like a hoarder who just has a bunch of pointless things they never value. Because the moment they have it, it no longer has value in their eyes. Because now it's free. It remains in their life for free. Because it remains in their life for free after they buy it, they no longer value it because it's in their hand now. It's worthless now. So your own mindset of chasing after, valuable things because, they have a high price tag on it is actually doing the opposite of what you want. It's not giving you happiness. If you have to pay money for it, chances are it's not as valuable as you think it is. If you have to spend, then the more money you spend for it, the less valuable it actually is. Because when you spend all that money for it, and then you realize it's just a lemon, you spent all that money, you just bought a pointless object. And once the novelty wears off, you just realize you're stuck with something worthless. How can you be happy in life? You ignore all the free things in life. You keep chasing after all the expensive things. The free things are free not because they're not valuable. They're free because they're too valuable for a price tag, to put a price tag on. These are, your basic necessities. Because they're too valuable, they have to be free. Otherwise, you'll never get it. Your life is too valuable. Because it's too valuable, it has to come to you for free. Otherwise, no amount of money in the world can buy you your life. Your life is worth more than all the money in this world. Because the moment you lose your life, you have no access to money ever again. Money is worthless without your life. Without a life, there's no point, to money. So by default, money is more valuable your life is more valuable than money. So if you don't value your life, you value money more than your life, you will live a miserable life. If you don't value your own life because it's free, you will live a miserable life. And that's how life works. If you don't value the free things in life, your life will always be miserable. If you only value expensive things, your life will always be miserable. Because these expensive things are usually scams. Companies are created to make money. So naturally they'll trick you into thinking the more expensive products are more valuable when they're not. It's a trick. It's a marketing scheme. This is how life works. A company is made to make money. So how do they make money from you? Tricking you into thinking something that's worthless is valuable. Tricking you into thinking that a common rock is valuable, that a diamond is valuable. Now you've bought the diamond, and you have nothing to do with that stupid rock except look at it. But you've lost all your money for something worthless. And this is how life works. People with money, businesses, people without money, they find different ways to trick people with money out of their money. And people with money, are too gullible. They chase after people, they chase after wealth. They chase after expensive things, thinking because it's expensive, it means it's valuable. It's a lie. Just because it's more expensive does not mean it's valuable. If you don't believe that, you'll keep falling for every scam in the book. You keep falling for every lie in the book, and your life will be miserable. Because, a life, filled with scams is definitely not a good life to live. A life where all you did was, fall for one scam after another is definitely not a good life to live. If you keep chasing after, expensive things just because they're expensive, your life will be miserable. Because you'll just keep buying lemons. Things that are expensive just because they're expensive, not because they're valuable. You must chase after valuable things because they're valuable, not because they're expensive. And many things in life are free. Many valuable things in life are free. Chase after valuable things. Do not chase after expensive things. Just because something is expensive does not mean it's valuable. And you can just go online and Google all the tricks that companies use, to trick you out of your wealth. There's so many marketing scams out there. There's so many tricks, to make you think that something that's completely worthless is valuable. Companies go bankrupt every year when they get sued, for selling something that's worthless as something very valuable. It happens all the time. And then, you kill one, you bankrupt one company and 1,000 takes their place. As long as it makes them money, people will do anything to make money, including tricking you to thinking something worthless is valuable. And they do it all the time. So if you keep chasing after valuable things, if you keep chasing after expensive things just because they're expensive, you keep buying lemons. Very few expensive things actually are worth their price. Very few things are actually worth their price. And very many free things are more valuable than you think they are. Far more valuable than you think they are. So that's it for today's podcast episode. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.